Mr. Devaron Benjamin.
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yes, indeed. There he is.
Hello, hello. I hear the hand claps. Wow, applause.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How's it going there, brother?
It is pretty good. This is a first for me. I'm normally a quiet guy. I try to stay, sort of low key.
Don't worry. Just put your feet up and relax. We got you here. We won't let nothing happen to you.
I will put my big feet up and hopefully won't hurt anybody in the process. So there you go.
Hey,
yeah.
you got your radio juice?
You know what? I do, but you're gonna probably say, yeah, he told me he was a cornball. My radio juice tonight isn't the pina colada. I wasn't able to do the virgin pina colada, but I do have a great radio juice, and I hope you guys let me get away with some Minute Maid Tropical Punch with no alcohol.
That's what you do. That's what you do right there.
All right.
Minute Maid.
Can I hang out with you guys without really,
Yeah, bring your Minute Maid. I
got it right here. I'm ready to go. I got plenty of it. So, it's just the perfect drink for me, I tell you.
Hey, man, so Devaron, all right, Donna told me some things about you. They were all good so far.
Okay.
She told me one bad thing about you, but I'll see if it's really true. I'll see if it's true.
It's probably true. I'll admit it before you even bring it up. I did it. I'm guilty. He probably said he's gonna have Minute Maid on our show tonight when he was instructed not to.
That was part of it. So what is it that you do, Dev? What is it that you do?
Oh, well, what is it that I don't do? I actually I just classify myself as an old school hip hop head, making it in the late 2000s. And I mean, primarily I own Nebulous Entertainment, and what we primarily do is artist development. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that I'm involved in, a lot of deals that get brokered, and a lot of connections that are made through me. And I'm just a producer by trade. But because I've been doing this for so long, I've met a lot of good people along the way, and I'm sort of like the go-to guy. A lot of people call me to get things done in music and now in development and things of that nature. So, I mean, I actually have my name on some things overseas, and that's what I do. I'm a music producer who's doing a little bit of everything. So.
That's cool. And like, what made you gravitate? And I know you're gonna tell me I always loved music since I was a kid, but I want to know that moment that everybody always say that. And I want to hear that defining moment when it just like something clicked, like something happened. Like I don't know, I don't know. Like you just heard something that happened in your life, or you know what I mean, like you woke up in the middle of the night and you heard your mother and father playing old Marvin Gaye song, and you was like, you know what, I want to make music like that. Like, what happened to you? What happened?
Well, I'll tell you, outside of trying to be one of the Jackson 5 members when I was a child, I mean, literally,
I like that.
Trying to get my brothers and my sister to be the Jacksons. None of us really, we could sing, but we were sort of like really far back in the choir singing, you know what I mean? So nobody would put you in the lead. But if I could get them just to tune in for a minute, and even though we sounded bad, it was just emulating, somebody who I loved, who was Michael Jackson, who I still love. But I mean, just being honest with you, I never had another passion, and I mean that humbly. I started playing basketball at 15. Everybody thought that I played before. But the reality was I was taking violin lessons. So I'm like, one of the only kids in the hood trying to learn the violin, And as far as industry, if you're asking me about just music period or industry?
You might as well tell me about the industry as well. Yeah, definitely. I want to know about both.
Well, just music period. I mean, it's just something literally, as you said, as a child, I've always done. I mean, I grew up singing in the choir right there in Nourishville, New York, at Bethesda Baptist Church. I was one of the little guys singing. But just from a hip-hop perspective, I mean, I hate to admit this, and any child listening, don't do this, But, I mean, I was a graffiti artist, and I was a wannabe DJ. And I looking back, I just realized that anything that I could do that was music-orientated, I wanted to do it. anything with music. So if when I used to break dance and pop, it was just that was music. You understand what I'm saying? You know, me doing graffiti was just a branch off from the music. Me trying to DJ, and I say try to DJ because like some of my best friends like went on to be like world-renowned DJs. Actually, DJ Supreme, Lauryn Hill's ex-DJ, John Legend's ex-DJ. I mean, that's whose house I used to be at, watching him do things, and him and Jazzy J would be going back and forth, and Fresh, not the, I almost said the Fresh Prince, but pretty much I came from that whole hip-hop culture, and I knew I wasn't going to be a good DJ, but I knew I could make beats. So back in 1983, I got my hands on 1984, got my hands on a Casio SK1, and that was the beginning of attempting to make beats. And prior to that, I mean, I used to go to this guy, Walter Hubbard's house. He was like a big brother to all of us. And we used to throw these little dollar parties back in the 80s. So, you know, you come with $1, you can come downstairs and dance. And he really helped us out a lot because, you know, we were from the hood, and we didn't have much. But he opened up his home. He's like, yeah, y'all can come over anytime. And we would play these records. I remember my mother had a record collection. My cousin Kirk had a record collection. Martin, Eddie, God bless the dead. All of them have moved on. But all of them had record collections. And that was the beginning of trying to find samples and trying to do this new art form that people were doing, which was sampling. And I know for a fact that in New Rochelle, New York, in Westchester, 914, I am one of the first people who started doing that. I mean, yeah.
Look at that. Now rule. Now rule, stand up. Now rule, stand up.
Oh, my goodness. What do you know about Now Rule?
Listen,
I am a proud 10801. Are you serious?
Yes, indeed. Once you start talking about, once you start saying hip-hop and you say New Rochelle, you change the name. It becomes Now Rule. Huh?
It does become Now Rule. Born and raised. I'm a product of New Ro. I scream New Ro because at the end of the day, New Ro gave, I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this on record, and I'm saying this before any documentaries are made or anything. I'm telling you guys that New Rochelle, New York, Now Rule, has a sincere, pure place in the origins of a lot of what you see now. And I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to be boastful. I'm just saying this before it's said. And we were on the cutting edge of a lot of things. And now that people are starting to take interest in the fact that, like one of the first, anti-drug songs, people think it was the message, but the reality is one of the first was Cracked Out by Masters of Ceremony.
You better stop playing with Grand Pooba Maxwell and them.
Come on, man. Grand Pooba lives in the building right across from mine. Listen.
Yes, indeed. You better stop playing.
Man, I'm loving it.
Don Barron is Mr. Who.
But diddly D. Listen. God bless the dead, Heavy D. If he was here, he would tell you what his influence was. There's some serious history here. If Dave Dash would get on this phone right now, he'd tell you, before there was a Rockefeller, he was in New Rochelle with the Future Sounds.
You see?
And when he went to broker that deal for Rockefeller, ask him what the roots of New Rochelle was and how involved we were in the whole Rockefeller deal. Now, y'all heard me say it. I mean, I'm just a little guy on the radio. I don't know nothing, but I'm telling you, this happened. We're just trying to put it together because we want people to know, like Puffy spent a lot of time in Now Rule.
I know for a fact he did.
I know for a whole bunch of time in Now Rule. Yes, he did. DMX spent a whole bunch of time in Now Rule.
For you guys.
I'm going to tell you something else right quick. Teddy Riley.
Of course.
The first record Teddy Riley played on, and if you look at all of the hits and everything that he's influenced, from Pharrell to Missy to the World. The first record he played on was actually the Masters of Ceremony, Crime.
Wow, you got me there.
This is all history.
I think you just got me there now.
Hey, Brad, listen. There's a lot that needs to be said. People, when they come to studios with me, and I'm in these studios, whether it's Atlanta, North Carolina, New York, Miami, wherever I go, I'm primarily on the East Coast because I don't like flying. Don't tell nobody. So I'm quite sure all your listeners have heard that. But if I can drive there, I'm there. And when I fly, it's like B.A. Baracus. You sort of gotta knock me out, you know. But the point I was gonna make was just bringing everything full circle. There's a lot that happened in New Rochelle that needs to be told. You know what I mean? People really have to understand that, like, it wasn't unusual for us to see Slick Rick. It was not unusual. Why? Because Vance Wright, his DJ, lived 2 houses over from me. It wasn't unusual for the original Young Guns, not the Young Guns that people see now.
No. The true Young Guns. I know them. I was actually in prison with one of the guys from Young Guns. His name was Mega.
You know what, bro? Let me tell you, Young Guns had about 300 soldiers. And that's real talk. And in Mount Vernon, New York, where they originated, Kenny Guest and Tommy Guest, they used to take some of the guys and they took them off the streets and helped them, you know. But by the same token, they were a rap group that Eddie F and Pete Rock and all. It's all connected. I mean, it's like it's so deep. Like when I hear Mary J. Blige, you know, basically, you know, I think she sometimes claims the Bronx. And there's nothing wrong with that because that's hip hop. That's in my opinion, that's the home of hip hop. But you know, I'm nobody but little guy on the radio right now. You know, I don't want to sound like I know. You know, because I don't want people blowing up my inbox. How can you say it started there? What happened to the bridge? You know, and then the next thing, well, what happened to Brooklyn and Queens? I'm like, listen, y'all didn't even recognize New Rochelle. Y'all said we weren't New Yorkers. You know, you guys said that we're not New Yorkers. You know. But let me shut up because you got me at, man. When you talking about 10801.
Look, I'm feeling some kind of way here. Y'all are reminiscing here.
we need to just help Donna get into those dollar parties because she never got a chance to. Donna, I know you wasn't in the dollar parties.
No, because I got it free. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. No, you wouldn't like our dollar parties, Donna. It was about like the whole hood in one basement, and it was just the funniest thing because we were in someone's home and in a very nice neighborhood, but we would bring that whole hood, let me tell you. And we never had a fight.
The whole hood in that one house?
That whole hood. People would be outside waiting just to get in.
Oh, Donna,
wow.
Donna, we grew up in Freeport, Long Island, and anything. Me and Donna both.
Yep.
And,
wow.
It was the same. It was the same geographic. It was the same type of thing.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like the hood all came to one house party and just piled in there and waited to get in.
Yes.
Oh man!
Look, I had a house party in my apartment.
Look at that apartment.
They were all on the front yard and everything.
I'm loving it. That's hip hop, Donna. That is hip hop.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Hip hop.
It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that nowadays. It's not like that anymore.
No. You know, bringing it to the now. People ask me about producing records now versus then. Well, let me just say this: Beatvault.com or Beatvault, the company, was a bunch of producers, and we just got together. And the whole goal of the company initially was to sort of be the middleman for developing artists. So if we had an artist that didn't have a studio, we give them a studio. If they didn't have photos or the proper sound, or they needed mastering on their music, if they needed studio etiquette, if they anything like that, we were involved. We were still running up to Def Jam. We were still running up to the different labels and trying to shop artists at the same time, but we were trying to make artists better. You know what I mean? So no matter what your situation was, if we accepted you into what we were doing, we tried to make you better. And okay.
No, I understand exactly what you guys were trying to do, or what you were actually doing, because I was actually I used to work for Czar Entertainment, Henchman Records, before they became and before it folded up with Jimmy Henchman, and that was sort of like
you know about Jimmy Henchman, bro.
I didn't
know about Jimmy Henchman. What you know about the Shadows movie?
Yes, indeed. Me and Jimmy
did the original score on that.
Are you serious?
I'm telling you something, man. We sent off the original records when they first sent us the Shadows movie. We got the record from Jimmy Henchman. And I won't say his name is incarcerated right now, but the guy who was the link for that, he brought us the original movie, and it had Biggie music all through it. Now, you might remember what I'm talking about. And we did the original score, but then somehow they got the budget, and they made some changes, and they went with someone else. And that's, matter of fact, I'll tell you who that was. That's when I was working for Paper Chase Records, Big Frank from Paper Chase. He's the one who brought Biggie Smalls and Petey Pablo to Greensboro, North Carolina, to do a record that Puffy wouldn't let him release.
Wow.
So it's
Ooh,
all
the
connected.
Wow.
So, oh, yeah. Don't sleep on it. Let me tell you something about Raleigh, Greensboro in particular, Winston-Salem, Charlotte.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There is so
Charlotte,
much talent that has snuck through here or it was birthed here that no one knows about. You know,
right.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable because a lot of the times, unfortunately, the producers that have made names for themselves, unfortunately, some of them don't do this, and some of the artists that have made name for themselves, they'll wait to tell you, I'm a byproduct or I'm a product of North Carolina. And I'm a New Yorker saying this. You know, for all my Carolinians out there that are listening, the second all of the artists, the radio folk, and producers stop hating, North Carolina will be will be it. I promise you that. North Carolina will be it.
So how hard has it been for you? How hard has it been for you to uproot and go from, you know what I'm saying, New Rochelle to New York, seeing anything coming from those 80s and 90s era, the 80s and 90s era, and then going down there to in the North Carolina area and like making a mark for yourself? How hard has it been, or has it been hard for you at all?
Well, it wasn't hard because when I came from New Rochelle and I started college at St. Augustine, I'm a St. Aug Falcon. I'm a proud Falcon. St. Augustine's, now it's St. Augustine's University. I used to say in college. But when I first came, we had groups, YAGFU, and they were based. Ninth Wonder, who him used to go every Saturday and Sunday and play basketball all over Raleigh. That's what me and him did. Me and him, nobody else. Get in the car, going to shoot hoop. I mean, he was there, but he wasn't doing music at that time. Actually, when me and him was playing ball, he had just started creating beats. You had P. Batters, who ended up going to he was signed to, was it Warner Brothers? Yeah, I think he was signed to Warner Brothers. I could be mistaken. You had Shelly V, who is one of the illest female lyricists that you probably would have ever heard. All of us were right there. This is what I'm about to get to. Ike and Shice, right now, you can Google them. They're doing their thing. All of us, well, they were way younger than us, but they were right there. And so when I came, I come from New York with a keyboard and a little tape machine. You know, in the dorm, that was like the biggest studio in the world because it was the only place on campus where people could come and express themselves. And if you look at the industry right now, if you look at Coach K, who has he has the group the Migos, and he started he was one of the original corporate thugs. He's a St. Aug byproduct. It wasn't unusual for us at St. Aug to see Tupac on our campus because he came there. Actually, he came there and performed with one of New Rochelle's other groups, the Soul Survivors. You know what I mean? And I said the Soul Survivors. I'm tripping. Pardon me. Soul Survivors was Pete Rock. They're gonna kick my butt right now. I'm having a brain freeze, but it'll come back to me in a minute. I'm getting a little older, guys.
Don't worry.
The point I'm making is, it wasn't hard for me to get into the culture in North Carolina when I first came because I had something to offer, and I wasn't a New Yorker that was like they thought all New Yorkers had this chip on their shoulders and we didn't smile. And here I come with a high top fade and I'm laughing all the time. You know, hey guys, you know, how you doing? You know, I make music. You know, and it was an easy transition in that light. You know, Rough House Soul Survivor. Excuse me, that's what I was thinking of. But they did a show with Tupac at St. Aug, and I remember when the Fugees came, and I remember when Maxwell was on the campus, even though people were trying to say it wasn't him. And so it was a great time. It was the end of the crack era, and I say that to say like 91, 92, there was a lot of crazy things going on. You know, in Raleigh, North Carolina, but you know, for us that was doing music. For us that was doing music, it was easy. It was an easy transition. You know?
Well, just to let you know, Larry Sid Wright, you know that name?
You know I know, man. Saeed, man.
Yeah, he said.
You know I know Saeed.
He just gave you a shout out. I think he listening. He gave you a shout out on Facebook just now. So just to let you know.
Saeed better give me a shout out. Let me give him a shout out. That is Pitch Fine Entertainment, and I score all of his movies personally. Let me tell you something. I love working with him, and I mean that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Larry is the one guy that will tell you like it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and he's a straight up brother. He'll tell you straight up, this is how I'm feeling, this is what I mean. But he has a vision, and collectively, you know, he's helped me to grow because I never thought about scoring movies and stuff like that until he gave me the opportunity. And I say opportunity because it wasn't something that was there for me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when somebody introduces something to you, and it wasn't something that you were thinking or it wasn't an original thought, it now becomes a vision, but we were able to actualize it. And I scored quite a few of his films. And if you get a chance, you definitely got to check him out and check out The Prince of Hitsville. You know, that's the Marvin Gaye joint. The Prince of Hitsville. And all of the singing in that film, all of the songs are original. And I sung all of those songs. A lot of people don't know that I'm an accomplished singer. And a lot of people probably wouldn't know it if it wasn't for people like Saeed and even you guys, because I don't talk about it. You know, I don't. That's just, to me, it's like doing a hook on a song. You know what I mean? You just if you're making a record, if I'm in the studio right now and I'm producing a record for somebody, and we know that it needs singing, either I'm going to call in a backup singer or a session singer, or I'm going to sing it myself. To me, it's just a part of getting the song done. But I know a little something about singing. Just a little.
But hold on, I got a song by you right now called No Harm. Suppose I play. Yeah.
I got to tell you the history behind that. Go on and play it. I'll tell you the history behind it.
No. Well, you introduce the song, and then when we come back, I'll let you tell us all about it.
Wow, No Harm, which was on the soundtrack for Hello by Locks and Thomas Scott, if I'm not mistaken.
Thomas Scott, that's right.
Yeah, that's a good guy. Those are some good guys right there, and that's No Harm. And go and take a listen to it. You might like it. You know, if you can get your two-step going, we can get our drink on to that record. That's what you do. That's long folk music right there.
Some minute-made fruit punch. Let's get it.
I will do it right now.
Yo, this is No Harm by Devaron Benjamin. All right, we'll be right back. This is Kickin' with Donna Ro on Raw Still Radio. All right, we'll be right back.
I remember that.
Step over here. That was hot. I love that. Man.
I appreciate that. I would have to send you some more of the records and, show the body of work. I mean, I got a lot of records, but I just made a conscious decision, more or less not to pursue being a singer. It was something I wanted to do at one time, and then I was like, I don't know, and then I was like, I don't know, and then I was like, I don't know. It's just some of the music industry is it's a very unique world, and some of the things that people hear about it are very true.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just really it's deep. You know what I mean? It's real deep.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was looking at the scope of things, and I was looking at the fact that really like outside of like Michael Jackson and Usher, and I'm not going to mention the guy with the R's name, and I don't really care for him too much, for personal reasons. I don't think he should be mentioned with the Princes and the Donnies and the Michaels and stuff. I feel like, but that's another conversation. But in a nutshell, I just said no. But there's been a lot of people that are like, if you don't put that music out, we are going to wring your neck, And so
you got it. You got so many outlets nowadays that you don't even have to depend on nobody. You can kind of do it all yourself at this point. You know what I mean? And you produced that song too, right?
Yeah, but the only person in the studio was me.
Look at that.
Every backup, every guitar.
Well, I have an idea.
Listen, man.
I have an idea.
Yeah, I'm not. She got something brewing. Look, watch this.
Well, I got an event coming up, so be nice if you could sing. You can sing at the event.
But you know what? I really consider that.
I got you on speed dial. As soon as we get off the phone, I'm gonna call you again.
I mean, we're about to release records that I did with Ty Nitty from the Infamous Mob, and I sung a lot of those records. And I also did a record with this artist Tech, who's from Greensboro.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually showed my face in the video. I just didn't sing. And even EA, if you Google EA's Edgar Allan poetry, his record Trying, you'll hear me on that one also. But I just, again, I sung a lot of hooks. I've had a lot of releases. I've had some stuff that did some things. I've had other records that did nothing. And it's just the grind, It's just the constant grind.
So let me ask you something. Like looking at these other like producers, like how do you feel about? Because you've been doing this for a while, and there's a lot of people that came up since then, and they're like, they're like, yeah. I mean, some of them they just got their issues. Other ones they don't. Like the Kanye Wests. How do you feel about? That's like Kanye West. How do you feel about?
Well, I feel like Kanye West got his dress style from Grand Puba. That's what I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel like
I go
when
with
he
that.
first came with the backpack and everything, again, this is another Neuroshell influence. And as far as his sound and some of his inspirations, I mean, they from Westchester, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Pete Rock and some of the other guys that were out there, if I'm not mistaken, I could be. Again, I'm just a little guy on the radio, having a conversation. But I don't know. I mean, when I look at people that get to a place in life where they have all this fame and money and fortune, and then they short circuit, or they start doing things that, in my opinion, are, I'll just say, not cool. It's sort of just because it's almost like I'm hating if I say that's right.
I understand. Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I'm not hating. I recognize genius. I mean, there's a lot of geniuses. There's a lot of producers and rappers and singers that no one's ever heard. And trust me, if they had a fair opportunity, they would shake the industry up or shake the world up. But those that have that type of fame, I think they need to be more responsible with it. And that's it. I just feel like you should just be very responsible with your fame, because when you die down, people are going to remember something about you. It's almost like if you meet somebody, and this is just me speaking to the radio audience and you guys, if you meet somebody for the first time and they smell bad, you're going to remember that. Man, that person sort of smell bad. Now, they might have just had a bad moment, but for the rest of your life, you're going to remember that. So I just feel like when you have that type of power, and music is such a beautiful liberator. Music is the one thing that we can communicate no matter what our language or how we speak. And you have to be responsible with that, because that's truly in my opinion, music is truly a gift from God. I mean that literally. You have to be responsible with it, and I'm guilty too, because I love hardcore hip hop. A lot of people don't know that about me. So I listen to rock, I listen to electric, I listen to dance. I mean, I still listen to a lot of house, but I grew up listening to a wide body of music. When I came up and when you guys came up, if you're up there with me a little something. We listened to a little bit of everything. So we had hardcore stuff, but we also had conscious stuff, and we had a balance of music. And unfortunately, there's no balance right now. I call most of the music we hear now drug music. That's all I call it. I mean, I'm like, when you listen to it, it's like pop a pill, get high, go back and forth like this, look crazy, and some people get a little ticked off with me because I won't say that, but if we're in the studio. And, some of the artists that I'm around, if they ask me, I'm going to tell them, I'm like, you guys are just making drug music. Like, let me hear something about your mother, Let me hear something about you growing up. Let me hear something about you just learn how to ride your bike.
The consciousness of music has definitely died out, man. It's like there's no more consciousness in music. Everybody just want to make something. Like you said, they want to go to the club, pop a pill, start sweating. And, bob their head and anything, whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like, you get somebody here and there every now and then. Like, if it's not somebody who came from, the 90s, man, from that golden era of music and anything, then it's like you're only going to get, few and far in between. Like, you got a guy, right now, what's his guy? Sci-Hi the Prince? From out of,
he's dope.
He's
but
dope.
Guess what?
What?
He's connected again through Coach K. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all.
That kid is vicious.
He's unbelievable.
Wow.
But he's also connected to Kanye. He's one of Kanye's listening partners.
That kid is nice. I didn't know.
Kanye actually asked him. Oh, yeah, Kanye will ask him, do you like my verse? But we need them. And let me be very clear with you. I love hardcore hip-hop music. I'm telling you this. I want to go on record and say, I grew up in the hood. It's not like I haven't seen, seen that type of energy. But I just believe there has to be a balance of it.
But you played a violin. You was in the hood playing a violin.
I was, and I was trying to play the violin. Let me say that, because we honestly couldn't afford it. We had to rent the violin, and it was like this place called Frank's Music Exchange in New Rochelle. And my grandmother, I don't know where she got the pennies from to do it, because we really didn't have a lot. But she rented the violin for me, and eventually, the money ran out. I had to give the violin back, and so. I just want to say this about producers that you see now. I don't believe because I know how to use a lot of analog boards and I know how to use digital boards. So in essence, I know how to get on a digital keyboard. I can get on an analog keyboard. I can sit down at a computer. I can do. There's nothing I can't do in a studio. I can mix your record. Can't master it, so there's something I can't do. But that's even another studio. But the point I'm making is, I believe that with technology, I can't be mad at a cat that's using a program that's basically making their beats for them. If there's some degree of creativity that's going into it. And I say the if. Because at the end of the day, if you're not creative, in my opinion, you can't be mentioned with certain people. You do not have the right to be mentioned with certain people. And I also want to say this really quick, because I got some messages real quick. It was Yad Fu Front, and for the record, for that listener that wrote me, it said that Tupac came with Digital Underground. Trust me, Rough House Soul Survivors was on that bill with them also. So maybe we'll talk about two different shows. But I just had to say that as a matter of record, because that's hip-hop history, So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Now, I love hip-hop history. I love when we got people from that era and anything who really remembers. I love that. I love that. I'll debate that every day, all day. I'll debate hip hop every day, all day. I'll debate music every day, all day. I'll take it all the way back. If you want to go into hip hop realms, I'll go to back when Kashif and guys like Chucky Booker and
come on, man,
and Lilo
Booker,
Thomas,
okay. Yeah.
Lilo
Come
Thomas.
on,
You know,
man.
people don't remember those guys. You know what I mean?
remember them all.
You know what I mean? Kashif had a sound. Kashif stole a sound, R&B sound in the '80s and anything that nobody could get away from. Nobody could get away from that.
You're right. And he
You know?
wrote a very good book that I always suggest. He wrote everything I think you better know about the music business, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, everything that you're saying, you know, and let me just say this, you know, I work with a lot of younger artists. There's actually a group that's on the verge of being signed to a major deal. Their deal is being brokered right now, and their name is Vincent Clark. They used to be known as the Doo-Wop Boys. And the beauty of being in the studio with them, they're young, but they're willing to learn. They understand that in order for you to have greatness, some people luck up and it seems like they're great, and then it's sort of like they get revealed. You know what I mean? It's like they get on the stage, you realize they don't have the greatness. You know, they had a great record, but they're really not as great as people are giving them the credit for. But when you're willing to learn your craft and really study your craft, you'll master it and you'll win at it. I mean that literally, you know. And I'm a journeyman in music, you know. And let me be clear, you know, like Travis Cherry, he's one of my brothers. You know, he's a Grammy-nominated producer. But I remember us back in the dorm at St. Aug, you know, before he worked with, you know, Rick Ross and Drake and all these other people and, you know, Puffy and J-Lo. But I remember us being in the dorm, and for hours he'd be sitting there writing songs, and I'm up there trying to make beats and music, and we were working towards our craft. We believed in what we were doing. You know, my background is, as far as my degree was in psychology. I was supposed to go and get my master's and probably a doctorate and move. You know, I was supposed to be one of these intelligent dudes. You know, I'm not saying I'm dumb, but you know, the point. Most people thought that I was going to go that route, but my calling and my gift is music. You know,
but that's psychology in a sense. That's psychology in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Music and anything, because music really affects the soul and anything more than any word without a backdrop of a melody or music in the background and anything could ever do. You know what I mean? Like, people remember a song, but they might not remember their lessons. You know what I mean? So it's like, in a sense, that's psychology. You know what I mean? It just a lot of people, they don't really take the power of music and kind of, you know what I'm saying, and put it to, you know, the use that it should be put to, you know, the use that it should be. If I'm saying it right. But
no,
you know, I mean,
right.
I believe that. I believe that music is a sense of psychology. Definitely.
I know I've been a psychologist in the studio many a night, because one thing I tell you about artists, they go through a lot, and that's, you know, some of that great music you hear is coming from very hurtful places.
And that's what you got to call it. That's what the name of your album going to be when you finally say, you know what, I'm just going to do it. It's going to be called the musical psychologist.
Okay.
Hey, if that becomes the name of my album, I'm going to call you back with a royalty check or something, you know. But, so we'll keep that in mind, you know.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, man, we're down to our last 5 minutes, man. You know what? This didn't even seem like an interview. It seemed like we were just having a conversation, like we sat down before, we met each other before, and that's the greatest things in the world when it happens like that. I'm going to ask you one last question. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask you one last. Who was your biggest influence in music, real quick?
God. Really quick. Jesus, I don't even take questions like that. I'll tell you honestly, because it's a cluster of individuals, and everybody from your Marvin to your Donnie, you know, to your Prince, you know, to your MJ, your Sting, you know, Elton. Oh my gosh, I can go on and on. Nina Simone. I mean, it's a whole. Wow, there's so many people that have influenced my musical spirit, and it changes. You know, like if you ever get a hold of my iPod, you probably crack up, because I listen to everything. I listen to whatever I can connect to, and that's pretty much everything, because it's just sound. At the end of the day, it's manipulation of frequencies.
Wow.
Literally.
Like that. I like that.
At the end of the day, yeah.
I like that. Donna, you want to say something, Donna? Because
Man,
I'm gonna close
look.
this show off. I'm gonna play California Winds when I leave this show. I'm just letting you know now.
Oh God. Okay, well, yeah, play it. I mean, it shows a different side of my music, and that's the type of stuff I love. That's what I would probably play every Sunday for the rest of my life. I have music that I classify as essential music, and California Winds is definitely essential. It's spirit music. It's, put it on, relax, and have a good moment.
Oh, well, the only thing that I'm going to say right now, the next time you see him be performing is going to be at one of my shows. I'm putting it out there.
All right.
See, Donna got some psychological stuff with her too. Look at her. She's just like, she just wished it on you, and it's going to happen.
Well, she got me on a radio interview. I don't talk. I talk a lot, but I'm just in my own world, with the people I work with.
I was like, you can come on. I was like, you can get on there. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah, I was like,
He's like,
I don't want to do it. I'm good. Nobody wants to hear this stuff. I'll just stay over here.
I think it's pretty amazing. I think everybody agrees. It was amazing. You're an amazing person.
It was good. I'm glad you joined us. I'm glad you joined us, man. No doubt. Tell people how they can find you before we get out of here, because they're going to time us out in a minute.
Well, I'm Devaron Benjamin on Facebook, and I have my ways of setting it up for friends and business. And, I own beatvault.com. I'm one of the owners of beatvault.com. We're about to relaunch that. 30plushiphop.com. I'm working on that big time, and that's going to be incredible. Ooh. And, 30plushiphop.com. I own that. I got that from Russell Simmons. He had it for a while. And
that's hot. That's hot.
And just really quick, Devaron Benjamin, and look out for this Ty Nitty project. Look out for the Face, Mr. Magnificent project. Look out for that Zodi record. That's Akon's artist. Look out for Bandana Bonds. That's the newest artist that I just brought up under my wing. And I can go on and on and on. And I'm working with Big Delp Iraq and the Restless, and I'm working with a whole bunch of different people that are putting out stuff independently, a few majors. And that Zodi record will be major. And Right.
That's what's up.
And look at it for my show.
That's what's up.
Andre Brown is who started me in music, and I'm gonna shut up on that note. So thank you guys.
That's what's up.
Andre Brown from New Rochelle, New York.
Andre Brown, New Rochelle, New York. Now rule. Hey, no doubt. Stand up, now rule. Hey, that was a great show. Kicking It with Donna Ro. We did it again. Compliments of thebigchat.com, stillmagonline.com, Still Magazine. Thank you. Let's do it again next week, all right?
Thank you.
love I have.